And so I know it's been a while since I have recorded a video, and I'm sorry about that. I've just been really busy. So, um, anyways, let's jump into the overall weather pattern today. We've got some interesting stuff coming up later in the video that you're going to want to stick around for. Some winter weather potentially in the south. So that's something pretty interesting that y'all are going to want to see. So starting off, we do have some rain showers and potentially some mixed precipitation up here in the northeast. And then we have a little rain system over here in the plains here. And that's pretty much it for the nation as of now. You can see we do have a little bit of scattered showers and maybe some thunderstorms for the warmer areas around here in the south, in South Texas there, southeastern Texas. So not really much to cover there. Moving along, let's take a look at the European model. Credit to Pivotal Weather for this. They let me use their product in my videos. So as you can see, generally the same as what we just saw on radar. Now, as we move further out, we kind of do see a little line of showers move through, and then we get kind of this wintry weather look on the back side of it. It looks like it's not going to be very significant, although it could bring a couple inches of snow to the mountainous areas, as well as maybe up to an inch of snow in some of these like further out areas, maybe up to an inch. Nothing's guaranteed, but there is a chance, especially for the further south regions that aren't going to see much accumulation. Those areas could see maybe an inch, and that's about it. So moving on, as this system moves off, we do see some additional snowfall in the northeast, and then another system bringing potential flurries around the eastern United States as a whole. As you can see, just a quieter pattern though, like not very much going on. This is the biggest system we see, and that's going to impact very few as it's very far north, and most of the heaviest snow will be just north of Canada, or just north of the United States into Canada. So it shouldn't be too impactful to those living in the northern plains. And then we see this system. Now, this is going to be interesting to watch because this could potentially bring a severe weather setup. This is around the 25th time frame. We have the cold front and the warm front type of look here. We got thunderstorms out ahead of the cold front, and then we have heavy snow near the Chicago area, and back we have some lighter snow back towards the central plains there. And as it moves along, the colder air kind of swings into the east, and then it just enters a really quiet pattern. Like the biggest thing going on is this little offshore system, which, with the way the jet stream would be heading, it would sail out to sea, not really bringing many impacts to the northeastern United States. Maybe a few flurries from that. That is if this pans out. Now, this storm isn't even a guarantee at this far out. This is the last hour of the model run here. So let's take a look at the GFS model. Now, I do want to say there's some stuff in here that's a little bit, let's say, unlikely to occur. What did I do? Okay, here's the GFS. So like I was saying, there's a little bit of stuff in here that's unlikely to occur. So we do have this system bringing a little bit of snowfall to the backside of to the colder area whenever the cold does swing through. So we do have a low pressure system forming over New York, and this would bring a little bit heavier snowfall than we saw on the European model. And then as that trough moves out, we have the same thing happening. We have some snowfall across the eastern United States, and then it enters a quiet pattern. But this is something I want you to watch. This is a little different than the Euro model. we have this piece of Gulf energy, the Gulf moisture, and then the GFS has it moving and combining with some Arctic air. Now this would bring a few inches of snowfall on the north side of this system. Pretty heavy snowfall there. Now I do want to say this is about 6 days out, so it's not impossible, but it's just not the most likely scenario. I mean, it could happen, and there is some potential for that. We'll just have to see how that develops and if it keeps signaling that. And then we have that line of storms around the 25th. So the GFS just shows it coming a little earlier, and that would make it bring impacts to areas in the northeast. So just that little bit earlier would have it that far to the north and east. And then we have somewhat of an ice and snowstorm on this model, but it does end up lifting to the northeast here on the model. And that's all for the GFS. And I do want to take a look at how much snow it would be showing now. I want to say don't take this as like a 100% forecast because this storm may not even happen. So we're going to take a look at the this storm would bring a few inches to Pennsylvania down into the mountains. The mountains are going to pick up the most snowfall with a little bit of lake-enhanced snowfall there near Erie, Pennsylvania. And so moving along, we have this little northern system would bring a few inches to the Ohio Valley area there. And then we got the 20th or the 19th through the 20th system. This will bring quite a few inches of snowfall to the south. Areas like Alabama, Mississippi, Alabama, Georgia, and Tennessee would get quite a bit of snowfall from this if this did occur. Now, if we keep taking a look, we see that the mountainous areas out west, of course, they get a lot of snowfall. It does show the northeast getting quite a bit of snowfall here. Keep in mind, this is just a 24-hour snowfall period. And then we get this big system near the end of the run. This would bring like 10 to 12 inches across northwest Ohio, central Indiana, and eastern Illinois. And this would bring potentially up to 16 to 20 inches for areas in the northeast. And then it would even bring about 1 to 2 inches of snowfall for areas in Kentucky and Tennessee. So this, again, that was really far out, so that's probably not going to happen. We'll just have to keep an eye on it. Climate Prediction Center, 6 to 10 day outlook. This is valid from the 18th through the 22nd. We have a big area of cold expected to develop out in the east, as well as an area of warmth out west. And the warmth out west will allow for the cold out in the east. But we do have a drier period for the southeast and the west. And then the northern United States is going to be the most above average. This is for the 20th through the 26th. We do see the cold kind of receding along the north. It's not as deep as it once was on the Climate Prediction Center. And then we have this really ridge building into the southwest and now starting into the southeast on the Climate Prediction Center's page. However, it does return to a wetter pattern generally, except for the exception of Florida. So, moving on. Weather Prediction Center today, we have this cold front moving down to the southeast. This cold front is going to drop down and then go off the east coast. So this is what's going to bring snowfall to the backside here. As we go to tomorrow, this was today. This is tomorrow's forecast. We do have this snowfall and mixed precipitation along the backside of it, pretty much for all up and down the eastern seaboard, with the exception of the deep south, obviously. And as that moves off, we do get a little bit of lingering snowfall further east. So this aligns pretty well with what the models were saying. And then the 3 to 7 day hazards outlook, we have just this wind, or I believe this is high winds across the plains. And then we have these the drought stuff going on. And then that's about it. And then, although there is a potential for flooding near Seattle, I believe this is, yeah. So that's about it. So if you did enjoy the video, please like and subscribe. Also, you should check out EpicPen. You can get the free version for the pen, eraser, and highlighter screenshot tool. And I believe it is 16 colors. But for $2 a month, you can get for $2 a month, you can get the pen eraser, highlighter, fading ink, highlighted cursor, shapes tools, text tools, whiteboard, blackboard, screenshot tools, 24 colors, easy license management, and great value. So thank you for watching today's video, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.